Hi guys, welcome back to chapter 1, and today I have a new book review for you, Alex Rider by Anthony Horowitz. Now I know I haven't done a book review in quite a long time because I've been busy with school projects, and now since it's the coronavirus quarantine, I decided to get some books from the library. And this was one of the popular books that I've seen people read a lot, even in my school, in the library. So I decided to check it out, and this actually isn't the first book in the series, Alex Rider Never Say Die. I believe this is one of the later ones, but when I read it, I had quite a good idea of the one before because it is quite related. So I'll start with giving you a basic outline of the story. Don't worry, it's not going to spoil it, and then I'll tell you what I like and dislike about it. So the story starts with the main character, Alex Rider. After a couple of weeks after the events of the previous book, Scorpia Rising, Scorpia is a terrorist organization that Alex manages to stop. However, Alex's best friend and his caretaker, Jack Starbright, actually dies at the hands of Scorpia. So he's very depressed. He's moved to the U.S. and school isn't going that well for him. He hasn't made that much new friends, and it's quite depressing from him. And out of the blue, he receives a mysterious message with just a couple of words: Alex, I'm Al. And these three words actually started as kind of a mystery for me, but then the story explains. So Alex, obviously his name, I'm Al. Alex thinks the person was actually Jack Starbright, was trying to send it to him and was going to type alive, but then was stopped. And this gives him hope that Jack is actually still alive. So he goes out to Egypt to see if she's still there, and the first place he visits is the prison cell, which she was held in at the hands of Scorpia. And in there, he finds the names of two actually mafia members that used to work with Scorpia, but not anymore, Giovanni and Eduardo. So the background of these two, they came from mafia families. They killed their parents, but they were disrespected by the Italian mafia, or I'm not sure if it's Italian, but the mafia, because they killed their parents, and so they joined Scorpia, which was a terrorist organization at that time. And after Scorpia was destroyed by Alex, they just decided to sort of work on their own, and they created an operation called Operation Steel Claw, which was supposed to be an operation where a giant helicopter, which was stolen, it was an American, probably the most advanced helicopter, as the story says, in the world at the time. And they stole it. And there is a school in London in the story for basically some of the richest people and their children in the world. And the original plan of Steel Claw was to get the helicopter to literally lift the bus which these children were on off the road and into a deserted mine in England, and they would demand a ransom of $200 million, I'm pretty sure. Quite a bit of money. And so the operation actually did succeed, and there was a bit of a decoy, you could say. They made all the MI6 agents think that the operation was actually going to be at a different location, but the attack actually was just from the air. And so how Alex finds out is, in the hope of finding Jack Starbright, he follows these criminal mafia. He tracks them to their house, and he realizes about the plan. But he is discovered, and he almost drowns. In the story, they tie a brick around his legs and dump him into the ocean, a traditional mafia execution. It says so in the story, but he's actually saved by one of his friends from MI6, Ben Daniels, and he works with MI6 to try to stop this plot of Steel Claw. And so during the Operation Steel Claw, he actually finds out that the plan was not going to be at the museum, which was what they thought it was at. And so he decides to follow them, going out from his own MI6 unit. And he and Ben Daniels on a car chase after them, but they're not fast enough. And the bus has already been lifted off the road by the time they arrive. But this car was specially tailored for MI6 purposes, so there is a parachute ejection suit. And they press that, and Alex manages to blow to the sky and hang on to the bus. He follows the bus into a desolated mine in England that hasn't been used for a long time. And in there, he finds his former friend and caregiver, Jack Starbright. And the rest of the story is whether they can escape from the clutches of these two ruthless Italian mafia gangsters. So I'm not gonna spoil that, obviously, but I'll give you what I like and dislike about the book. I'll start with the like. So what I like about this book is this book never ends with action. The whole book, it's just action packed, and there's so much of that, gunshots, and I found that quite interesting, and I could never just drop this book because there was just so much stuff to see. The second thing I like, it's very suspenseful. A lot of times Alex is on the edge and brink of death, and it keeps making you wonder, will he survive it? Is he able to survive it? And that is also, I think, an excellent quality about this book. And the third one is you can really relate to Alex's personality. You can, whenever he's sad, the story actually is made in a way it makes you feel sad too for him. And when he feels good, you feel excited and enthusiastic. So it really gripped me along the whole time. What I dislike about the story, there's one thing, and that is the motivation of Alex. So from the start of the book, Alex's motivation was to find his former friend and caregiver, Jack Starbright. But throughout trying to find her, he sort of gets into this Italian mafia gangster thing. And half the time he's like, should I go for these Italian mafia or should I look for Jack Starbright? And I think the book was trying to say they thought Jack was at the hands of the Italian mafia gangsters, but I don't think they expressed that quite clearly because, the possibility that the evidence pointing to Jack was at the hands of these people was sufficient, but they had no idea whether Jack was with them during the operation. So, in the end of the book, where the Operation Steel Claw was initiated, Alex sort of was working for MI6 at that time, and not really. He thought that Jack would be on the way, they would find Jack, but I didn't find that quite convincing, and that's sort of the one weak link that I find in this book. But in general, it's very fun. It's quick, action-packed. So for those of you who like adventures, this book is definitely for you. And I will definitely read these previous books. It's very interesting. So that's about it. And thank you for watching my book review. If you like this video, please subscribe and place a like. And thank you guys so much.